Okay, it's about 5:30 in the morning. I've just arrived in Auckland, New Zealand, and I've been taken to my hotel, Mollies, which is a boutique hotel, and I was just shown my suite, and I want to recreate the moment where I walked into my suite. Yeah, I said suite, not room, and you'll see why. Ladies and gentlemen, Mollies. Hi, just a grand piano. I am here with Jack Burke. He is the house manager of Mollies, which is probably now my favorite hotel in the world.
Fantastic.
I've stayed here, this is my third night, and I love it. And I met this cat my first night.
Polly.
Polly. He wanted to come, she wanted to come in and play, and I kind of let her. I gave in.
Well, that used to be her home before it turned into a suite.
Oh, really? My room? It was her home?
Her home.
So I was kind of feeling like she was not going to take no for an answer.
No.
So I was very charmed by her. Now, this place is really beautiful, but it has an interesting history as well, right? What's the story?
Well, it was the first mayoral residence here. So the first mayor of Auckland used to live in this house. His name was Philip Phelps.
Right.
And the house used to live across the road where the nuns are now.
Right.
And at the turn of last century, the nuns bought the house off the mayor, moved the house from the other side of the road to here, and lived in it while they built the convent.
So the nuns literally lifted it up and moved it over, like they were on The Amazing Race or something? Right?
100 nuns with their habits,
Moving a house!
Moving an old Victorian mansion across the road, up a hill as well.
Now, this place is very musical. Like, there's just a harp in the hallway. I have a grand piano in my room.
Exactly.
And I understand you're a singer, is that right?
I'm a singer as well.
So what's this connection with music and this place?
Well, the place was built by an opera coach and her husband, who was an opera set designer.
Right.
So it's a very theatrical, quite a camp, very over-the-top backdrop for a hotel.
Right.
So when we first opened, all the staff were either actors in between jobs, musicians, pianists, and opera singers. And what started off as something that we offered to help buy time for the kitchen, i.e. let's sing while we're waiting for that food to come out.
Right.
That kitchen has now
I'll do an aria.
Yeah, let's do an
To the
aria.
steak's
Let's do a
done.
duet. Exactly.
Right.
It's now a mainstay and an expectation for guests who come here who have read or heard about the musical soiree, which takes place every night here. 7:30, showtime. The owner hosts the guests. She talks fondly about the history of the hotel.
Right.
And then members of staff like myself, the receptionist who's now touring with Phantom of the Opera.
Wow.
Great singers who are now very famous worldwide. Once upon a time sang here.
So you got a show coming up in a little while.
7:30.
You should be maybe resting your voice, or I don't want to.
So.
What are you going to sing?
We're going to sing Phantom of the Opera.
Really?
Phantom of the Opera is like an anthem here for Mollies.
Well, one of my favorite things to do already is have breakfast here because it's gorgeous. You're in this porch room that's kind of closed in, and all of the plates and stuff are like antiques, but they're different every day, and they're really beautiful. And then they have like Josh Groban and Barbara Streisand. There's like this sort of everything is beautiful here at Mollies.
Well, it's very much a reflection of the owner, who's into lots of candles, as you can see now, lots of flowers, lots of reflection, lots of glass, lots of beautiful things. And most of the stuff comes out of her own personal collection. So
and
it's
not eclectic. It's a little of everything.
Eclectic.
And it feels like, it doesn't feel like you can't touch anything, or you feel really at home and you're just around a bunch of beautiful things. Before I got to come on this press trip, I finished a job. So the truth is, I'm unemployed. So it's very surreal to be unemployed and get the opportunity to come to an amazing place like this. It's a little bit of a mind trip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend that this is my house and that I'm actually on MTV Cribs and I'm a big rock star or whatever, because that's kind of what it feels like. So come on, MTV, check out my crib. So this is, I guess you could say this is where the magic happens, because I've been here for 2 days. And so far, the magic that's been happening is, I was just reading about Jessica Simpson in Vanity Fair. She's at a crossroads. I don't know if you knew that, but we're all very concerned. And then this is where we compose a lot of songs, sing about Mollies. It's a lot of stuff there. Nobody's ever had sex on top of that yet, but you know, I can't promise anything. That's the sitting room. A lot of work and office stuff is going on there, and the views outside are kind of amazing. So even though this is just my crib for a few days, it's pretty amazing, and if you ever come to Auckland, New Zealand, you should definitely try to check out Mollies. It's fantastic. Now, you know the Pussycat Dolls are performing tonight in Auckland, and I'm really surprised you're not chasing me out so Nicole can have that room. It's probably the nicest room in the whole city.
But it is. It's the most coveted room.
Right.
And you're very lucky.
So you like me more than the Pussycat Dolls?
Absolutely.
All right. Come to Mollies if you're ever here. It's fantastic.